So today we will discuss about the complementary proteins. Complementary proteins, which are basically they are known as assisting component of second line of defense, which is basically the part of innate immunity, like the immunity which we have acquired from our birth, right? The part of innate immunity. Basically, in our complementary system, like we have a complementary system of proteins in our blood. The complementary system, there are over 30 proteins, right? And these proteins are basically present in blood. They are basically circulating in the blood, but they are synthesized in liver. They are synthesized in the liver, but they are present, they are circulating, they are moving in the blood, but in an inactive form, right? But when a pathogen or you can say a foreign particle comes in our body, these complementary proteins get activated one by one. Now what does that mean? Consider this one pathogen has entered into our body. This is a protein, right? These are the proteins. Now, like as the pathogen arrived, now this protein is activated. Now this protein will activate this one protein, and this one will activate this protein, and this will activate this one protein. Basically, a chain will be formed, like they will activate each other, right? So basically, like upon the stimulation of these complementary proteins, the monocytes, or you can say the phagocytotic cells are stimulated, right? Inflammatory response is like there is a stimulation in the inflammatory response, like the inflammation gets, and which like when there will be inflammation, we will also study about the inflammatory effect on the second line of defense. But like the inflammation will get high, so it will attract more monocytes, or you can say the phagocytotic cells. It will attract more phagocytotic cells when the inflammation will be increased. Basically, the inflammation and the monocytes will be stimulated by upon the activation of these complementary proteins. Okay, one of the example of the complementary protein is perforins. Perforins is basically an example of protective protein of complementary system. Now what happens, for example, this is a bacteria. Now what is the work of this perforin? It will make holes in the cell wall, or in the cell membrane, or you can say the cell wall of the bacteria or any pathogen. Like it will create the hole, this perforin. Now this hole, basically this hole will allow fluid and salt to enter the body or the individual. That will basically, for them, consider that this is a bacteria and there are holes, right? These holes are done by perforins, and this hole will allow salt and water to enter into the body. Now what will do, this salt and water will basically increase the osmotic pressure. When the osmotic pressure will be increased, there will be imbalance, or there will be imbalance, and basically the cell of the pathogen will blast. The cell of the pathogen, as the osmotic pressure will increase, the cell of the pathogen, basically the cell of the pathogen will blast, and this is how the pathogen will be killed, right? This is how the pathogen will be killed by these holes, because these hole will allow salt and water enter into the body, and which will increase the osmotic pressure. So I hope this complementary protein, which is the assisting part of the innate assisting component of the second line of defense, is clear to you. If you have any kind of queries, you can ask me in the comment section, and I would be very glad to answer you guys.